All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. There is a strategic plan that is going on amongst us, and I want y'all to listen to me very closely. We have all across the world, women as well as men who do not consent to Western cultural values. And of course, a lot of people, they say, hey, if you're in our country, you should follow our laws and do what we say. But however, in most Western countries, they do have a law that people have the right to practice freedom of religion. What is this video about? Well, there are women who choose to be modest. And is it not crazy in this country that started modest? I mean, you barely even saw a woman's hands in this country. And all women wore head coverings, be it a hat or something. They cover their head, be they white, black, brown, yellow. It makes no difference of what their nationality were. That's what they did. And then over a period of time, and that's why I keep saying, as the decline is in, and we can see society going from bad to worse. I don't care what part of the world you're in. But over in France, they have these things called Burkinis. And what it is modest swimwear for a woman who wants to go to the beach, who wants to cover herself because of modesty, who chooses to not show all of her body. Now there's an uprising because of Muslim immigrants, refugees that is flooding into different countries, and the so-called attacks. We have this attack, they keep saying, radical Islam. When is somebody going to call a spade for a spade and call it for what it really is? How about radical American Christian values? How about that? How about how radical the Christian nations are? And I want you to hear me out for a second, because as soon as I say that, people automatically think that I am anti-Christ when you don't know anything about me. I'm anti-false religion, and Christ just so happened to not be a Christian, contrary to your popular belief. That's why I tell everyone, and I advise you to do your due diligence before you start adopting positions or assuming positions based on what your forefathers have taught you. You've got to be able to do the independent research for yourself. But anyway, there are women who are choosing to dress modest on the beach. And of course, after listening to and watching a couple of videos, I found out the reason why the Western societies really love for women to be revealing as well as men. It has nothing to do with modesty, but it all has to do with security. It's like, for instance, in this country, if a woman covers her head and she wears a long dress, which they did in the very beginning, in this country, they're seen as a security threat. So if a woman goes to a beach and she's covered up from head to toe, and she has these bikinis on, then they're seen as a security threat to everyone else, and everyone else has all this anxiety from the news media of Islamophobia. And of course, I think it's a very honorable thing that if a woman wants to go out and enjoy the sun and enjoy the beach, enjoy the water, and if she chooses to be covered up, I think it's an honorable thing. But it's amazing when you live in a perverse world and perverse society, and I'll show you how crooked our mindset is. Some of these bikinis that these women wear, they are anything but modest. And what's amazing to me? They can go and pretty much wear a G-string swimsuit that's barely covering up anything on the body. And that's socially acceptable because of the customs of secularism. But these same women, if they were to be at home and UPS or a stranger, somebody knocks on the door, they think it's totally inappropriate to come to the door in a bra and panties. And is that not a bizarre behavior? If it's immoral and if it's immodest for a woman to come to a door of her home with a bra and panties on, but yet she can go to a beach, a public beach where there's all kinds of people around, and she can wear something even less, as far as material goes, than a bra and panties, G-strings and all this other stuff. All of a sudden, the Western society say that is not a threat. It's not a security threat, and that's okay. I think it's a serious problem. I really truly is. I think that the more revealing that a woman allows herself to be seen, I think the more she not only denigrates herself, I think the lower in standard that it is that she believes in herself. Because, I mean, you look at it nowadays, it's just a sad, sad thing. Because the truth is, if you're a woman and you're pretty shapely, you're going to cause a man to lust. Don't give me this crap about where he shouldn't be looking. If you're going to show everything you got, he's a man. He's going to look. Again, you know, that's the reason why a woman, some time ago, she walked down New York streets and she had on some tight clothing and stuff. And man, she got all the dishonor and all the disrespect and all the catcalling and everything else that came with it. She did. She got it bad. But as soon as she walked down the same street, same woman, and she was covered up, people ignored her. She did not have the undue attention. It's all amazing. And then women today wonder why that they're getting raped. They wonder why that men speak to them the way that they do. Because the truth is, whether you believe yourself to be whorish or not, that's exactly what you're bringing upon yourself, regardless of what your mind tells you. So I looked at these videos and I sat up there and I said, you got to be kidding me. A woman wants to go to the beach and stuff, and she's covered up from head to toe, and she's able to still swim in swimwear, but she is considered a domestic terrorist because she decides to cover herself, but everybody else is clothed and in their right mind with the least amount of clothes on, and they don't present any type of security threat whatsoever. I just literally just say, man, this world is literally all but gone. You see, this is what happens when America and its war machine, let's just tell the truth. Does anybody really truly know the reason why we're in Iraq and Afghanistan and Yemen and all these other countries? Do y'all know the real reason why we're there? If you don't know, I'm going to tell you. They can say whatever they want. They can make any enemies that they want in this world. But the truth is, we are there for resources. Oil and the poppy plant. We're there for oil and heroin because the Americans' lust for oil and heroin is off of the scale. Now, they can dress it up any way they want. But that is the truth of the reason why that we're over here at war. So now we have Americans dying in unjust wars. And what makes them unjust is because Congress has never declared war. Now we have Caesar, that is now the president of the United States, going around raging war, empire building all across this world. And of course, it depends on what side of the fence you on. Be you conservative or liberal or just nothing at all, because nothing at all is worse than conservative and liberal. But when you have lost the standard of morality and you're spiritually bankrupt today, you deserve exactly what you get. Some time ago, and some people got upset at Pastor Dowd. Some time ago, there was a reporter. She was over, I believe she was covering the stories over in Libya. And, of course, women in that culture, you hear me, American women, when you go over there, you're supposed to dress modest and cover your head. But this news reporter decided that she was an American. And it's amazing because, see, when I was in the military, when we went to different countries, they gave us briefings and classes in how we ought to conduct ourselves when we're in somebody else's country. They even taught us behavior patterns, how we should be behaving. They even taught us the social construct of that particular country and how we should be more than anything trying to blend in rather than trying to go over there and assert our American so-called system of values. But this woman decided that she was going to defy what they were doing during all these riots. This American news reporter, this white American news reporter, this woman. So she has uncovered head. She's there only with a camera crew, and she has the tightest pants on that you can possibly get. Well, what happened to her? Well, the men over there saw her as a whore, and they beat up the cameraman. They took her into the alley, and 4 men raped her. You might say, well, Pastor, that is wrong. I 100% agree with you. It is also equally wrong for a woman to go over into another country thinking that she can still act like an American and think that the laws of America is going to defend her from all these injustices that go on. If you dress like a whore, you may not see it as whoredoms in America, but you go to another country, it is whoredoms. And even if you don't see it as whoredoms in America, you still are being treated like a whore, whether you like it or not, because modest women, they do not receive the same attention. So that lets me know that a lot of women in America are dealing with the spirit of rejection. They want a lot of attention, but they don't want undue attention. But yet at the same time, as schizophrenic as it is, they don't want anybody sitting up there gawking at them, stalking at them, drooling over them, when they are putting themselves in a position to actually do it. You ain't never in your life seen things that go on in this country. This is like some time ago in service, I was showing everybody. I said, just because you see women with makeup on, I said, you see the reason why Pastor Dow has trust issues. Because just because a woman has makeup on, that don't really mean that you're really truly looking at that real true woman. Have y'all people seen what makeup does? And what these people, go on the internet and Google women with makeup and women without makeup, and you tell me what you see. And you would have trust issues as well. Because it is, it is grotesque and detestable what you see, what is happening in this country. It is utterly amazing. But the women expect for you to accept them any old kind of way, no matter how many breast implants, butt implants, plastic surgeries. They can be fake, phony, superficial, the whole 9 yards. There ain't nothing real on them. The hair is not real. The nails is not real. The face is not real. The breast is not real. The butt is not real. The toenails are not real. There ain't nothing really real on them except the size that you see. And even at that, that's being altered and changed. That's telling me that there's a serious hatred for her own makeup and her own being. And then men go out here and gawk and stalk over a woman that brings all this undue attention to her. Whereas a modest woman doesn't have this problem. She gets back to America. This reporter tells a story. Americans are feeling sorry for her. I'm not feeling sorry for her because she should have known how to behave when you go into another man's house, when you go into another man's country, another country in general. And you people need to learn honor and respect. See, over here in America, a woman has been given so much above the man that if you can't see exactly what's going on, the ideal is through feminism, is to diminish the man, to make the woman in power. Thereby, now you're really truly going to see a decline of a nation and stuff when you turn around and take that which was not created to be in authority and put them in authority. And you're going to let them be the ones making choices and decisions that men should make. Oh, I know what I sound like. I sound like a religious bigot to a lot of people. The facts still remain. That reporter's mindset did not stop her from getting raped. You can call it wrong all you want, but did it stop it? No, it didn't. See, that's the reality that I'm trying to get over to these thick heads of people today. It didn't stop it. And when you go out and you wearing these tight pants and you wonder why you're having yeast infections, does it stop the yeast infections? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, does it? Because you can't breathe. So there's a lot of things must be desired. Does it stop your face from going from bad to worse when you put all this makeup on your face and your pores are getting worse, the blackheads getting worse, your face, you look like some monster right out of a Godzilla movie. And then you have to put more makeup on in order to cover up that mess. And then in the morning, if you on his dates and stuff, if the man ever sees you in the morning and he don't see the way you looked the night before, and you women wonder why men are walking out on you and nobody wants you, because you're phony. Now, am I a woman's best friend for telling her the truth? Yes, I am, because I'm painfully telling you the truth that you don't want to receive, and I understand that I become an enemy because I tell people the truth. But for a woman who wants to be modest and not bring undue attention to her, to say that now we live in a world to where that has become evil and good has become, if a woman is basically almost just not wearing nothing, that's letting you know our spiritual bankruptcy, our moral decay, and how our value system is not honored at all. If you're a man, you need to ask yourself a question. Do you want some fat, ogre, grown, sweaty, hairy man gawking over your teenage daughter? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. But if you don't teach her right, if you don't enforce the laws of righteousness and holiness and just modesty in general, expect for your daughter to be treated like whores. You know, it's acceptable in this society for teenagers to go to college and have all the sex that they want. It's utterly amazing. And they're playing Russian roulette with their lives. But it's utterly amazing. Whatever happened to modesty? Whatever happened to purity? Whatever happened to those things that would make for a good society. Oh, I understand. Well, I understand what y'all believe, but I'll tell you one thing. I don't think the government has the right to tell anyone what they should and shouldn't wear. You and you alone going to be responsible for the consequences of your garments. That's all there is to it. If your garments, if it pleases you and it gives you the attention that you want, don't complain. Either way it goes, be it modest or lewd, meaning really open. Don't complain. You deserve exactly what you get. But if somebody does evil against you and you end up becoming somebody's sex slave, or you end up getting raped, or you end up getting robbed and mugged, or whatever you want to call it, you know the reason why now. Don't sit up and tell me you got your rights when your rights didn't protect you from evil. There's a defense when a woman dressed modest, when she's wearing skirts, dresses, and her head is covered. Whether you like it or not, the truth is, it's in the pudding. You can look at it here on YouTube, be it secular humanism or secularism or just religion. The truth is that if you are a woman and you don't want all that undue attention and stuff, don't tell me that the man shouldn't be looking, he shouldn't do this, because it is simply, that attitude and that mindset is simply not going to stop the evil from coming your way when you have invited it. You don't have no cloak of maliciousness to stand behind. You have no cloak to try to cover up and hide what your mind is trying to tell you what's right when evil is coming your way. You have choice and decision to make. And if you choose to be that way, then accept the consequences that come along with it.